Hey, have you ever been in a situation where someone asked you to introduce yourself in English and you felt stuck? Maybe the words didn't come to you. Maybe you didn't know what to tell them about yourself. Well, if you answered yes to either of those questions, today's lesson is for you because I'm going to give you 3 simple steps. That's right. 1, 2, 3. 3 simple steps to help you master your English introduction. It's so simple. I'm Teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. All right, so there are 3 simple steps, and we're going to start by looking at the first step. The first step is to tell them the type of person you are. Now, the focus is your character and personality. And let me explain this a little bit more. You see, when you're going to an interview, the first thing they're going to ask you to do, of course, is to introduce yourself. But you have to remember, usually, those individuals have already looked at your CV. They've already seen your resume. So it's not the time for you to tell them, I went to this school, I have this degree. No, instead, they want to know more about you as a person. So the first step, the first part of your introduction is telling them who you are as a person. Now, you do that in 2 parts. The first part is your character. This helps them get a better understanding of your core values. In other words, the things that are important to you. That's right. That means you need to think about this. Hey, what's important to you? Who are you as an individual? This is the first portion. Now, after you've explained your character, you're going to also talk about your personality. This helps them get a better understanding of how you will blend with the current individuals at their company. And this is something that I loved explaining to my students when I was in South Korea, because it's an aspect of Western culture that many times students, maybe like you, don't realize or understand the importance of. You see, in Western culture, it's all about, being with the group, of course. You want to be an individual, but you also want to blend with the group in a way that makes things interesting, creates harmony. So when you first come to the interview, you're starting off by telling them, hey, these are my values, and also this is my personality. So as you all know, I'm a very happy person. I'm very outgoing, and I love being around people too. You can tell that. And actually, the first video you saw from me, you assessed that without even realizing it. Like, wow, Teacher Tiffany seems to be a very happy person. Something about her seems really genuine. You started off by making an assessment of me based on my character and my personality, even without you realizing it. That's why this is the most important part to start off with for your introduction. So let's see what this looks like, okay? We have an example from a young lady. All right, here's the example. Again, remember her character and personality. Here she goes. Hello, my name is Samantha Smith. I am a very diligent and honest person. I also have a very outgoing and friendly personality. Immediately, she starts off by telling something about herself, her character, and her personality. Now, there's a word in here that I want to practice with you for pronunciation. Underline and bolded. Diligent. After me, diligent. Excellent. Again, diligent. Nice. Last time, diligent. Excellent. Now, I'm also a very diligent person, but what does this word mean? Now, the word diligent just means having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. Again, giving 110% when you work. We say you are a diligent person. Now we're seeing that Samantha started off her introduction in an amazing way. We immediately know that her character is, wow, she's very diligent. And her personality, she said she's outgoing and friendly. So immediately in the mind of the interviewer, she would probably work well with our group. Starting off the introduction again, step 1, telling the type of person you are. All right, now let's go to step number 2, another important step. your experience briefly. Here we go. The focus is describing a specific experience. Now, again, this is something that is very unique about an introduction in English. Maybe you've never heard this before. After you've described yourself, you've given information about your character and your personality, you then need to talk about an experience. Now, I'm going to explain how to pick a specific experience, but this is very important, and it goes back to Western culture and to the English language. Many times when you're speaking in English, you think it's about your words and the grammar, but actually, it's about your ability to express yourself and also talk about your experiences in the way that a person listening to you can understand. The same is true for your introduction. So, your experience briefly, part 2, we have, again, step 2 also has 2 parts. First, related to the interview. Again, this shows that you have taken the time to do some research about the position and the company. So you're not going to tell an experience or a story that has nothing to do with your job. You want to make sure the experience you choose relates to the job you're trying to get. Now, part 2 of this step is right here. Life-changing experience. This shows that you are able to think logically about your life and about business because you have to make a connection. Again, giving a good introduction in English, it's not about the words you use. It's about the way you organize your ideas and your thoughts. So again, in step 2, you're talking about your experience as it relates to the job you're trying to get. And again, you're saying how this experience connects to your job or the job you want to get. And it shows the person listening to you, the interviewer, that you know how to think logically, that you can connect different experiences in your life, and it makes you look like a better candidate. And your introduction, seems amazing. Now, I want to pause real quick. Remember, I told you at the beginning that there's a special event that I've created for you. You see, I'm teaching you how to give a great introduction in English, and we have one more step. But there are so many different things you need to learn to give a good introduction and to pass an English interview and to even do well in a business environment. And that's exactly why the Business English Week was created. Register for free for the Business English Week right now. That's right. This free event will help you take your career to the next level. Join teacher Julie and I and register for free right now. The link is in the description. Now, I created this Business English Week along with teacher Julie, again, to help you pass an English interview, to help you excel in your career, and to take your career to the next level. This lesson that I'm teaching you today about giving a good introduction and using these 3 simple steps is just the beginning. If you really want to go to the next level, you have to join us for the Business English Week. Now, again, it's a totally free event. The link is right in the description. You can join us for this event. And trust me, if you're learning a lot from what I'm teaching you about introductions, you are going to love the Business English Week. So again, click the link in the description, join us, register for free, and we can't wait to see you there. All right, so let's keep going on now. Again, with step 2, I explained talking about your experience briefly. We have related to the interview and a life-changing experience. So let's see an example. Again, state how it relates to your interview plus your life-changing experience. Here we go. I have traveled all over the world, but my favorite country is South Korea. During my time there, I learned many things about their culture and language. The main thing I learned was the importance of embracing and respecting other cultures. As a global company, I believe that this is a philosophy you also value. This is amazing. Now, if I was interviewing anyone and they gave this part of their interview introduction, I would be amazed. Why? Because they started talking about their experience in South Korea. Again, I was in South Korea, but this is the example that's being given. And it was very interesting. They loved it and they learned a lot about cultures. And then immediately a connection was made to the position they're trying to get. Oh, as a global company, I believe you also value respecting other cultures. Immediately, the interviewer realizes, wow, this person has a good character, a good personality, step one, and step two, has had some life experiences that we can benefit from at this company. This is amazing. Now, in the midst of the answer, there was a word that I want to go over with you really quickly. It was embracing. So after me, embracing. Excellent. Again, embracing. Good. Last time, embracing. Good job. Now, the word embracing, again, it came out in the response. It just means to accept or support a belief, a theory, or change willingly and enthusiastically. So the person, again, in their introduction is giving so much information about who they are as an individual and their experiences and how their experiences have made them a better individual prepared to get this job, right? Now, that was just step two. So what about step three? This introduction is already looking amazing. Now, step three of a good introduction in English is life philosophy. So here we go. Now, your focus is your philosophy and how it developed. Again, this is why I am encouraging you as you prepare your introduction. You need to make sure you have followed these 3 steps. Think about your ideas, not just about the words, not just about the English grammar. Think about your ideas. What do you believe in? What do you hold true? What do you hold as being important? Your philosophy and how it developed. Now, there are 3 parts to this one. The first part is the explanation. You see, the goal is to give more details about the way you think and the way you connect with others around you. Then you're going to talk about how it developed. This helps them understand the process you went through to come to the current ideas you value. Now, I want to emphasize, this does not mean that your introduction needs to be 15 minutes. No, the example that we're looking at can be done in 2 minutes, but it includes all 3 steps, and that is why it's so good. So when you're at this 3rd step about your philosophy, your life philosophy, don't stress about speaking for a long period of time. No, you need to condense and make sure your answer is concise and brief. This is what shows that you're giving a good introduction and that you're fluent. So again, you're talking about the past, how it developed, and part 3 is its effect on your life. This helps them, the person listening to you, the interviewer, understand how your thoughts affect your actions and also how you personally look at life, whether pessimistically or optimistically. So again, this is so important for you to organize this section. This step is very important, your life philosophy. So let's see how the individual in our example actually explained her philosophy. Here we go. Here's the example. Again, state what it is, how it can help you at the company, and connect it to your future. Here we go. My personal life philosophy is we all grow when we respect and learn from each other. I developed this philosophy after working with people from various cultures, and it has completely changed my life. Look how fast she was able to say her answer, give her answer, right? She was able to really explain her life philosophy in a clear way so that even we understood, right? Now, there was something at the very end that she said, changed my life. Let me explain what this means. This means to make a huge difference or a big difference or to have a big impact on one's life. So this individual was able to wrap up her introduction, an amazing introduction in English, with telling her life philosophy. So she followed the 3 steps. Again, step 1 being telling the type of person you are, talking about your character and your personality. Step number 2, talking about your experience, connecting it to the job and how it would help you. And then finally, step 3, your life philosophy. Listen, if you want to give a good introduction in English, All you have to do is follow these 3 simple steps. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Remember, this is not the end. If you want to continue learning more about passing English interviews and also excelling in the business environment, as a student, you need help with business English. Trust me, you need to join us for the Business English Week. And all you have to do again is click the link right in the description to join myself and teacher Julie. We are excited to help you and we want you to register for this free event. We look forward to seeing you. Don't forget to register by clicking the link in the description. So again, I hope you really enjoyed today's lesson. Remember, study hard. You can achieve all of your goals. I will see you in next week's lesson. But as always, remember to speak English. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. So today's story time actually popped in my head while I was teaching you the lesson. That's right. I had another story all prepared, but as I was teaching you step number 2 about life experiences, another experience popped in my head. So I said, you know what? Let me tell them about this experience. So this happened when I still lived in South Korea and my friends came to visit me. Now, I told you before that I was a very fearless child. Like I was very adventurous. I didn't have any fear. But you know, as you get older, fear kind of creeps in and you get a little bit scared. But this is when my friends came to visit me and we went to a mountain. Now, I've talked about this mountain before, Sorak Mountain. Beautiful mountain in South Korea. My favorite mountain in South Korea. But it takes a lot to hike to the top. However, there's a different area where you can ride a cable car to the top and you can take pictures, and there are usually lots of people and like big groups there. So my friends and I, it was myself and 3 friends. So 4 of us, we decided to go via the cable car, right? So we went to the cable car, we went to the top, and we were at almost the top, but you still had to climb up maybe about 10 or 15 minutes to get to the very top. And the scenery was beautiful. Like it was breathtaking. So I love hiking. Now we got to this midpoint and it was my best friend from childhood that was one of the friends that came there. So I'm standing with the 3 of them. I'm like, hey guys, let's go to the very top so we can get some pictures. I had done it before, but I wanted to do it again because my friends were there. And I didn't really get a response. So I turned back and I said, hey guys, let's go to the top. And my best friend from grade school looked at me and said, And it caught me off guard because literally there was no fear in me at all. And I looked at her and I said, why? She was like, Tiff, have you seen this mountain? And I'm like, yeah, I've been here many times. She's like, I'm not climbing up there. I'm not going any higher. And it's like at that moment it clicked like, oh, I guess we really are high. I said, okay, well, I'll be right back. And I went by myself because the other 2 friends, they were gone. They said, no, we're not doing that. So I had my camera. I wanted a picture. So I had to climb like on my hands and knees as well to get to the top portion. But there were other people up there, other Koreans. So I got to the part and I got to one part and it started getting really narrow. And that's when in my mind I said, this is a little bit dangerous. But I kept going. I really wasn't scared. So I got to the very, very top. And the higher I went, the less people I saw. And right when I was about to get to the very top, it was me by myself. So I got to the part and I wanted to take a picture, but it was windy. And I may have mentioned this to you all before. So the wind was blowing, but I wanted the picture. So the area, I mean, it was small. It was a really small area. And I looked and there was a couple like right below where I wanted to stand. So I looked at them and I spoke to them in Korean. And I was like, hi, I'd like to get a picture. Would you mind helping me? And they looked at me and they were like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. They were like, you're not scared? And I was like, no. Now, let me explain again. Literally to my right, thousands of feet dropped. Like it was the side of the mountain. Literally, like you just dropped. If I missed a step, I was gone. But I wanted the picture and I really didn't feel any fear. So I gave them my camera and they were like, okay. So I stood up and the whole time I was holding onto a rock and I stood up and put my hands on my hips to take the picture. The moment I put my hands on my hips, inside of my mind, I said, Tiff, you may want to be careful because the wind was blowing. So I said, okay, let's take the picture quickly. So they snapped it really quickly. I grabbed the camera and then I made my way down. Now, on my way down, I was talking to myself and I said, wow, that really could have ended a different way. That may not have been the safest situation. Again, they were there as well, but I was realizing even more like, I'm not scared of these situations. Now, what's the point? You see, we're talking about experiences. How could I use this experience in an introduction for a job interview? You see, I was up there and I had a goal and I wanted to achieve that goal. Now, I was safe. I was careful. I wasn't, being unsafe when I was walking and going to the top of the mountain. But when I got there, even though those around me didn't want to follow me, I said, it's okay. I have a goal that I want to achieve and I'm going to keep going forward. So in an interview, I could say, no matter what's going on around me, if there's something that needs to be done or achieved, I'll give 110% to achieve that goal or to complete a task. So you see how I connected my life experience to something that an interviewer would be impressed with and would also see as a quality they'd want in an employee. That's the same thing you can do. Now, again, I'm still sometimes baffled by, okay, I'm not really scared of things, but it's okay. So maybe you also are fearless in certain situations. When it comes to adventure and like hiking and stuff, I really am not scared of heights or things like that. I love hiking and I'm looking forward to going back to hiking and traveling more after the whole COVID situation. So hopefully you enjoyed the story. Let me know if you have an interesting story as well about hiking in the comment section. Remember, once again, don't forget to sign up for the Business English Week. Register totally for free and join Teacher Julie and I. We can't wait to see you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you next week.